I didn't get HIV from eating Fruit Loops. I got it from being a dangerous drug addict and sex addict. And whether it was from a needle or it was from the sex or all the above, I got every type of disease you could imagine. I was not a good man and I didn't care. Like I wanted to die and I tried my hardest to die. Like every time I set out to do drugs, I couldn't stop. I wouldn't stop until I blacked out. It was a true demon. Again, I had dissociative identity disorder, but I had a demon too, and I call it the passenger. When I let it take over, there was no stopping. The moment, the pivotal moment is what's, am I allowed to be graphic?
Okay.
Okay. Well, so I surrendered my, I was in the psych ward. I was locked up in the psych ward in LA County Jail, and I was facing 5 years in prison for domestic violence. And I won't go into the whole story. It's the last chapter of the book, Death. But what I will tell you is that I surrendered my life. And I had a very supernatural experience and everything changed for me. Like everything changed in that moment. I ended up getting out of jail 4 days later. I didn't have charges. I was free and then ended up being homeless right after that. It was crazy, but it was only for a few weeks and it was really, it's not as dramatic as it sounds. But being homeless does suck. It just was not as dramatic as it sounds. I wasn't on the streets. I was living in a $105,000 car and then realized that I had Marriott hotel points. And I was like, oh, wait a second, I can get a room now. and then a Muslim woman, like right at the end of this 2 weeks of being homeless, basically, found a Muslim woman that let me rent a room in her mansion for like nothing. So I could have still been homeless, but like that door opened. Like I was very fortunate. That's why even with my faith being what it is and I'm not of the Muslim faith, I'll never talk bad about a Muslim ever.
Perfect.
Ever. Of any religion, because I've seen more devotion to God from Muslim people
100%
than I have seen people that share my faith.
True.
And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying this is true.
It's a reality.
It's a reality. So anyway, so I was cruising along. I was doing well. One of the biggest mistakes I made, because I was very insecure, codependent. I was battling, like getting over the drugs. That was one thing. But I stayed in the toxic relationship, and I'm not knocking her either because I contributed to all of it. I stayed in this toxic relationship that landed in me jail 2 times. We ended up getting back together. And because I was doing the work to heal, she wasn't. And it was causing these setbacks. And so, long story short, I was part of this emotional intelligence workshop. I'm going to tell this story as quickly as possible. It was a 3-month course for emotional intelligence. I love my brothers and sisters in this group. It was so important to me. It was changing my life. It was getting me comfortable with the truth, really comfortable with the truth. I was very brave about it. And but the last night there, I was the MC of the event that we had to put on and organized to raise money. That was part of one of our projects. Well, she got drunk at the party and started accusing me of having sex with all the guys and the girls that were there. And we were really close, like brother and sister. And mind you, I'd done some crazy things in my life, but we weren't having sex. None of us. We were just brother and sister. She started accusing me and we got in a fight. And then long story short, they ended up kicking me out of the group. And I was devastated because I had all this momentum. I had people that loved me. And then all of a sudden, this entire group turned their back on me. They said they didn't feel safe around me because they knew my history. What's up, man? They knew my history. So they didn't feel safe with me, so they kicked me out. I was so angry with God. I was so angry, and I said, oh, F it. I'm done. And so the first thing I got back on a sex app, started going on a meth bender, and like was going nuts for about a month. I was going on these 3-day benders. Well, anyway, fast forward towards the end of the month. It's my 4th day being awake. I cannot find any drugs and I can't find anyone to have sex with that would have the drugs. And I remember this comedian talking about drinking their own urine to get high. And so I ended up drinking the urine and got high as,
Does that really works? Like,
it really works. It works with cocaine. It works with meth. I don't know what else it works with because I haven't tried it with anything but cocaine and meth, but it works.